Somebody decided there is one man's opinion that we've all kind of been waiting for on this Steven Crowder thing, and we finally got it over the weekend. Would anybody in the chat like to guess whose opinion we were waiting for on the Steven Crowder stuff?
Steven's gay lover.
Close. Would anybody like to guess who's ranting and raving we would love to hear regarding the Steven Crowder situation? Optic Nerve says Cumia. No. That's a, there you go, Bob. Owen Benjamin. Full disclosure. Mm-hmm. Owen Benjamin, to me, is one of the most entertaining people out there. Whether I'm agreeing with him, whether I'm disagreeing with him, whatever. Okay. Owen Benjamin is the very definition of a guy who says exactly what he's thinking, does not give a shit what the consequences are. Like, Owen Benjamin is kind of your free speech litmus test. If you're someone who goes, I am for free speech, I will play you 5 minutes of Owen Benjamin, and then I'll say to you, should that be allowed on every major platform? And if your answer is yes, I'll go, congratulations, you're pro-free speech. Because I know in that 5 minutes, he said 5 things you like, 5 things you hate, and something that you fucking detest and don't think human beings should be allowed to say. But yet you're saying he should have the right to say it. Beautiful, wonderful. Owen Benjamin is this country's free speech litmus test.
He just looks like a homeless person.
He lives on a farm. He's allowed to look like a homeless person. But he decided to have thoughts on Crowder. Now, if you don't know the backstory, Owen Benjamin worked for Steven Crowder.
Oh, did he?
Writing sketches.
And as we all know, everyone who's worked for Steven Crowder, nothing but nice things to say about him as a boss.
He has accused Crowder multiple times of being a homosexual.
Well, fucking get in line. That's all of us.
He has had nothing but negative things to say about Steven, the way Steven treats people. So you name it, Owen Benjamin has said it about Steven Crowder.
So I'm sure he won't take a victory lap right now.
This is going to be pretty interesting. I may have to fast forward a little bit because he also wants to talk about some farm shit in this video. But we want to get the best of Owen Benjamin.
Quick thoughts about what's going on with the Crowder thing and then also all the science stuff. I learned a long time ago that people don't change their nature and they almost never change their mind. So when I'm
change my mind.
Talking about the shape of the earth stuff or any of the science stuff, it's not because I'm trying to troll or change anyone's mind. It's that I'm showing that people that think it aren't alone. Because
by the way, Owen's into flat earth.
Yeah, I kind of guessed that with the shape of the earth thing. Here's again, you're allowed to believe in flat earth, but all right, you're allowed.
Okay, may I say this? What? He's very charming when he does it.
Well,
it's always very funny, his belief in flat earth.
Look, I'd be more than willing to hear him out. The only problem I have is most people that I hear talk about flat are those people that start getting more wound up while they explain their point. So I start taking you less seriously. Well, but you understand, because no, the whole thing's a conspiracy. I'm like, all right, as you get more worked up, I'm like, no, but we're living on a ball.
Yeah, I don't mind the flat earth people, and the reason is this. Their position is so silly that I can enjoy it. So, like, I know the earth is round. So them saying it's flat doesn't make it flat.
Right.
So I can kind of enjoy.
But they put this kind of like impossible argument of like, no, I can explain it all away. And like, it always devolves down to, well, prove me wrong. Like the only way I can prove you wrong is to launch you in a fucking space shuttle and go, look, it's a ball, dumbass.
And that's expensive.
Yeah.
Do you know how you win that argument?
You just don't have it.
Right. Sometimes the way to win is to not play the game.
The way to win is like, we live on a flat disc. Like, right. And I'm going to continue shopping. See you later.
During COVID, I watched as there was no layer of depravity that a certain type of person wouldn't descend to. And then once the spell broke, once they stopped propagandizing it, once the emergency order was over and it wasn't funded, people go... They're like, oh, yeah.
Nice timing, rooster.
By the way, that rooster knows who its owner is. That is a brilliant rooster.
Stupid now. It's the same thing with the Crowder thing. Like, I've been telling people for years exactly the type of guy he is, and it's really obvious when you look at him. Like, you don't need to see hidden recordings or anything like that.
Right.
It's just pretty obvious once you really are honest with yourself about what kind of a guy he is. But as soon as all the talking heads agree, you know, you got like Candace Owens and all these guys are all reporting on it, all the big conservatives, then everyone was like, wow, you were right. And it wasn't because they came to the conclusion themselves. It was because they're like in a swarm. You know, it's like...
Right. We've always said, like, something's fucked up with Crowder. Like, this is a weird dude. There's something wrong with this guy. And a lot of other shows did, too, but that we were all in the minority, and it was like, oh, you're a hater, or oh, you're this, or you're that. Like, what Owen Benjamin's trying to say here is that a lot of these people are now saying Crowder's this, Crowder's that, because they got fucking permission from the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
They got permission from Candace Owens. They got, like, all these people on the internet who are going, oh, man, Crowder's crazy. Crowder's a psycho. You're only saying that because all of the people you like are saying that now.
Right. You were going to get something out. It was either going to be a shield or a knife based on what your boss wanted. And we're not defending Crowder, so get the knives out.
Not even your boss. Like, the talking head you like said it, so now you can believe it.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Versus the rest of us who believed it, got shit on for it, and we go, I don't care if you shit on me for this. I don't care if you don't give me permission to say this. I'm looking at the guy, and it's clearly visible.
Yes, he's gay.
Well, and Owen said that too. And, Owen has been saying this stuff about Crowder, and I'm sure he's a little pissed off that people are coming around now because he's like, the only reason you didn't believe me before is because I said it. Not because it wasn't true, not because you didn't believe it deep down. You were waiting for the right person to give you permission to feel that way. And that's really gross. And that's a big problem these conservatives have. They all think they're saving the world. They all think they're saving society. Well, you can't be a conservative or a liberal and save society. You guys are the ones who put it here. So the whole idea that you feel you need permission from another human being to feel a certain way about someone else tells me that your whole value system is fucked. Because you don't feel that you have the ability or the permission to look at something and make an educated guess. You have to wait until Ben Shapiro or Candace Owens tells you it's okay.
Plus, then it makes all of your outrage a lot more disingenuous if every time you're always going to be upset the minute someone's like, well, we're against this guy. I mean, just as much as we all are kind of like doing a aha, I told you moment with Crowder for a lot of us, all the people that are jumping on to hate him, if this was all a giant, like, work or setup or whatever, those people would still jump on board to hate him because, like you said, their echo chamber is, this guy is bad and this is bad. Yeah. It's like, so now we hate him.
Remember Candace Owens saying, oh, I knew this about him then, I knew this about him then. So you knew he was a piece of shit for a long time while you and your company told people he was one of the good guys fighting the fight with you. This is why I don't trust Candace Owens or Jeremy Boring or Ben Shapiro at all, is because you guys will sit there and go, oh, yeah, all this stuff that you thought about him, yeah, we knew. But we're saying it now because he looks vulnerable.
Again, these
I can't let those guys off the hook either because they're opportunistic pieces of shit too.
That's like, a president being like, I always believe that we should, legalize marijuana and decriminalize it so we're not, persecuting our citizens. Great. Glad you weren't in a position to do anything about that. Great.
Oh, you mean Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and pretty much 75% of the presidents we've ever had?
Yeah.
Who believe that marijuana is totally fine and they actually did it themselves and some coke. Like, if those former presidents were to legalize everything that they've tried and thought wasn't so bad for you, coke would have been legal a long time ago.
Well, and the worst part is, too, now is, like, in the case of Minnesota, the Republicans have held on to the opposite point of that to the point where now we voted in Democratic people just to get one thing.
Yeah. And now we're getting pedophilia isn't so bad legislation.
Hey, but at least we could be high while that gets passed.
God, the group consensus shifted, so they shifted.
Right.
And it's the same with the Earth stuff. Like, there's nothing I can say. Like, I can show you a.
Did he? Wait a minute. Did he just pivot from Crowder's a piece of shit to the Earth is flat? That's why I like this guy. I like Owen for this very reason. I don't have to agree with the things he says. I like that he has the temerity, the balls, the nerve to go, oh, yeah, so Crowder's a piece of shit, and I've been saying that for a long time. It's just like the Earth being flat. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Nice, effortless pivot, bro.
Weather balloon at 160,000 feet. I can interview a sniper. I can show you all kinds of stuff.
When he starts talking about flat Earth, his rooster always starts going, coo, 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 coo.
It's like the rooster's like, don't believe him, he's full of shit.
He R-words me.
I've explained to you the scientific method, that the burden of proof is on that who makes the claim. Obviously, it appears we're
Oh, so we're not okay. So we're not on a round Earth, or no? If I say we're on a round Earth, I need to prove it. Okay, this works. And moving on
a stationary flat plane. So if you say we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour, you have to prove it using a scientific experiment, saying, "Look at the water, look at the moon. What's the moon? The cloud." No, show me an experiment.
No, wait. Before you do, you can't just go. Don't go. Oh, the moon or oh, the clouds. All of that shit matters. Like I know you're bouncing. The flat earthers do this thing where they go, "Well, prove to me your shit, but don't use this proof or that proof." It's like, yeah, but that's my proof. Sorry.
In the 1970s and 60s and 70s, Russia launched. Remember Sputnik, the thing that went. The thing people. Yeah. There's video
Satellite.
footage from back then of people being like, "Hey, look at that blinking thing moving across the sky."
Yeah.
And coming back across the sky again. It's like it was doing circles around the. Because it was going over the disc and then under the disc. But what?
That's a long distance to travel rather than just around.
Yeah, why would it?
Mm-hmm. Experiment is the scientific method is observe, hypothesize, experiment.
Yeah, I don't have a rocket ship, asshole.
Hey, do you want to get a telescope? Because you know what you can watch the moon do? Rotate.
Now, I like Owen Benjamin, but when he gets on the Earth shit, I have to shit on him because he sounds like a retard.
Like, I'm all for free speech, but at the same point, I'm like, you're dumb, shut up.
Okay, then you come up with a theory and you rigorously test it. There is none for the globe or the heliocentric model.
Right.
And
do you know why they haven't tested it extensively? The same reason they don't test gravity extensively by having someone jump up and down. We've got it figured out.
Yeah,
we've got it narrowed down to about what it is.
So we've been sending up people in all the different countries of the world, and it's a giant conspiracy to keep all of us believing that this Earth is round. What is the end goal here?
Right. How do you benefit?
How does the world? Other than the fact that what is the benefit to all of the physics that is publicly known, like all of the knowledge we have? How is the government making my telescope let me watch the moon spin? How does that happen?
Nothing I will say will change anyone's mind unless the consensus shifts. And I don't care if the consensus shifts.
That's not true. Like, you look at this gender stuff, people are digging in their heels pretty hard. Like, the consensus, the culture has told us this is totally normal. This is a thing. And the vast majority of people are like, no. This is fucking nonsense.
I don't care if Steven Crowder's out there right now bleaching his asshole to own the left. He's been doing this shit forever.
He just wanted to bleach his asshole.
It's the same with all this stuff. So just understand that you're never going to change any mind. Someone say, well, Mr. Flattard, why don't you send up a weather balloon and show the... And then you can do that, and they'll go, well, that wasn't filmed by Walt Disney, so it's fake.
I am entertained by Owen.
All right, he is very much the Patrice O'Neill thing where, like, he's making a point, but he's shoving marbles up his ass. So it's like you're taking it. He has a point there. Like
nobody's mind changes unless the consensus changes. That's true. The Earth is flat. You just shoved marbles up your ass.
And you just got to accept it or else you're going to become a bitter person. Like during COVID, I thought...
That's true.
Oh, they're going to put masks on kids so people will wake up. Oh, they're giving away...
Remember that? Remember when we all went, oh, people are going to fight back. Remember when people were telling me during the show, they were like, Aaron, the cops will stand up against this. I'm like, guys, the cops are going to be enforcing the shit out of this. It's a paycheck. It's their life. They're not going to stand up for you. They're going to stand up for the orders. And guess what they did? To a man, they stood up for the orders.
These laws are bullshit. Walls and his attorney are fucked up. And in Minnesota, the cops won't stand. No, they shut down Shady's and everyone else just away.
They put people out of business.
Free donuts and lap dances for a vaccine. People will know that this isn't healthy.
Where was that one?
They never do. You know, you have goats. You have a herd animal.
Hold on.
And then you have the shepherds. And that's it. And the goats, the herd animals, will not think for themselves. They only do what the herd does. And when you accept that, it's a much happier life. Like, if you look at my comments, people are going nuts. They're like, yes, sir. Because they're like a swarm. They're like a herd protecting the herd. I can show them any evidence. Like, I can break apart every single thing that they...
I don't know why, and I don't know how the audience feels. I'm always captivated by Owen Benjamin.
I'm watching him, and I'm thinking... this seems like a weird mix of, like, weirdly, like, conspiracy theorists that I see all the time, and also the same time potheads that I've interacted with all the time. At the same, like, is he high?
I think we need to give Owen Benjamin more credit and more respect, because this is the kind of guy who, if he had knuckled down, bailed on the flat earth shit, kept himself up and whatever, he probably could have formed a cult and hurt a lot of people. Like, he probably could have led to the damage and destruction of a lot of lives. But instead, he decided to take the power that he has and go, guys, satellites are bullshit. Crowder's a homosexual and the earth is flat.
Look at my goats.
Look at my goats. Like, I appreciate that. I respect that. Owen Benjamin didn't take the things he has and go, I'm going to shove this down everybody's throat until they're dead. He went, no, I'm going to purposely say crazy shit so that some people leave me the fuck alone.
Well,
like flat earth.
My theory would be on this, and I know it's not normal for the circles he comes from. He might be just talking about the shit he believes in. I mean, I know that's
true
weird.
too, yeah.
He might just be saying stuff
right.
he believes.
You're right. I'm sitting here going, wow, Owen really protects people from his bullshit. And Johnny's like, no, he could just be full of shit and just easy to not follow. Oh, well, I guess that's understandable too.
Think make Steven Crowder a heterosexual Christian conservative, or that they're on a spinning ball and they won't see it until
I love how he puts the two of them together.
He just put Steven Crowder likes pussy as the same level of ridiculousness as the earth is round.
And the problem I have with this is, one, I love how beautifully he put the two together.
Yeah.
But I also hate it because it's like, I completely believe that one is true and the other one is just like, no,
Right.
come on.
I don't believe I'm ridiculous for thinking the earth is round. And I don't believe I'm ridiculous for thinking Steven Crowder's a homosexual.
The earth is as round as Steven is straight. Fuck. Put me in one.
the group sees it, and then it's as if it never happened. And they will literally say, oh, science proved it. I'm like, you just were telling me about how bullshit the COVID thing was. Do you not see that it's the same thing? And they're like, you, I was with you, you piece of shit. Guys, the earth is not, it's not a spinning ball, okay?
Because it's not round right here.
I love how he's like, why don't you guys do scientific tests and prove it? And then he goes, look, guys, the earth isn't round. Shot of his farm back to him.
See, there's a hill over there. There's a hill over there. A dip in the middle. It doesn't look really fucking round to me.
He holds everybody else to this burden of proof for the earth is round, and then his burden of proof that the earth is flat is, meh, meh. See?
Not. And if you're going to make a claim that it is, you have to prove that with a scientific experiment.
All right.
Or you're not doing science, you're doing science fiction.
All right.
It's weird.
Show me the underside of the earth.
He just showed you that it's flat, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you're the one making the claim we're living on a flat thing. I want to see the underside. I'm a curious person. Show me the underside.
Would a crazy person let their hair do that?
Yes.
Wishing, hoping, and fantasy. Okay? And you can call me all the names in the world, guys.
Okay.
I'm around herd animals all the time.
Goat fucker.
That's all they do. They just ram each other with their heads. They eat, they shit.
And they
boost
insist the
up,
world is flat.
And they go to the moon. Okay? And I love these animals. I'm not against herd animals. I'm not against the sheep. But I'm a shepherd, and if anybody else feels the way I do, just know you're not alone. And, don't get bitter about it. There's nothing you can say to change their mind.
He's like, what's amazing is that like every setup Owen has, I agree with. Like, he sets it up. He goes, guys, people are a bunch of pack animals who aren't going to believe anything until you give them permission. I'm like, fuck yeah. And that's why the earth is flat. And you're like, whoa.
God damn it.
Owen, look, guys, people are pack animals, and here's the problem. All of us are we will all wait until we're given permission to believe something, and then it's always too late, and then they use that power to manipulate us. Yeah, fucking right, Owen. And that's why anyone who believes the earth is round is gay. It's like, all of your setups, I'm in, buddy. I'm in.
We were all standing there. We all saw it. We all thought something was up, but only a few of us would call it out. And now that everyone else is calling out, the wagons are circling. We're like, I said he was fucked up from the beginning, and that's bullshit. Damn right, man. And if you look over here, that's a hill, and that's a valley. That ain't round. No. Hold on.
Go back to the other shit. KF with $5 says Owen's best bits: drinking turpentine, Einstein was retarded, science is gay, and the moon landing never happened. Oh yeah, he doesn't think we landed on the moon.
Well, then he doesn't want to know about how Japan lost their rover when it went behind the dark side of the moon, because the moon is flat, so of course they.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
Curly Adam with $5 says this is why people shouldn't worship these political mouthpieces. Right, worship Owen Benjamin.
And that's what Owen was saying. People shouldn't worship these mouthpieces because then they do what they worship says. And the earth is flat.
Yeah.
I'm in and then I'm out.
Well, I think what Owen's trying to teach us is that nobody is ever as, nobody's ever 100% right on something. And he's using that for himself as well. He's holding himself to that same standard. Or here's the other part. He could be insane. One of the two.
We don't know what he does with those goats when the cameras
We're going to figure it out. Thank you very much. You heard him, everyone. These donations are going towards April and his golfing fund for this weekend. Have fun out there, you two. No, the money that this show makes goes to the corporation, not into our pocket. How dare you, sir? But thank you very much. We appreciate that. 190 away from today's goal. So you guys made it under 200 by 8 o'clock. Let's get under 100 by 9 o'clock, and let's call this a successful start to the week and knock out that goal into a half hour of overtime. Today's overtime, that MLC universe is completely falling the fuck apart.
So the stuff from yesterday? Okay.
Yeah. Oh. And, to quote Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, I hate to say I told her so, but I told her so. I told her so. Remembering how I was treated by these absolute retards for saying, look, guys, I know you think it's all funny and hilarious that he's talking about my children and other people who aren't famous. You guys think it's great. You guys think it's awesome. But I bet you when it happens to you, you're going to come out and block him and say that it's not okay and this is way too far and everything else. Oh, that steel toe guy, he's full of shit. He talks like a politician. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I was right. You were wrong. I win. You lose, fuckface. And I'm going to really enjoy this. Now, April hates this stuff, so right. I'm glad you're here today.
Oh, that's why I made sure to come in. I was like, I'm not missing today.
I am going to fucking gloat so hard during overtime today because I said it. I called it exactly how it's happening. And it's perfect. Me and Gino both called this. Gino went on Chad's stream yesterday and completely knocked sense into him.
Yeah.
I mean, is it going to last? Is it going to take? No, it's not. But, oh my God, this is going to be my longest and biggest victory lap I've ever taken. Because I told all these senior citizens who thought that I was crazy or that I was, hey, why are you getting out of this? It's just getting fun. It's like, because when it's your family, it's not fun anymore. And I'm going to go do my show. And then they went, oh, come on. Now it's happening to them. And they're blocking. They're running away. They're not oh, wow. All the things that are happening to you are the shit I told you was going to happen to you. I said, guys, your pit bull's going to bite you. Shuli, Bob, Kevin, all of you. He's going to fuck up your shit. And guess what he did? He fucked up their shit. In a weird way, I am not anti-Chad in this situation.
Because he's just being Chad.
He's doing what I told you that he would do.
I'm not hating the mud shark for being a mud shark.
This is all your fault. All of your guys' fault for allowing it, for thinking it was funny. It was great, right? It's awesome. You guys put a scorpion on your back and then got mad that he stung you. I can't get mad at the scorpion. I told you he was going to sting you. Well, don't yell at us. Don't laugh at us. Yell at Chad. Why? It's never going to help. That's what he does. That's his thing. That's why I don't associate with the stupid fuck. And that's why Gino smacked sense into him yesterday. He knows it's not going to help or it's not going to work, but at least he got it out there. And now he can let this guy operate how he operates. You guys thought it was great fun. You guys thought it was awesome. All of you guys thought it couldn't possibly happen to you. Oh, I am enjoying it. And in overtime today, I am going to really, really enjoy this. Yeah. I'm telling you.
It was I had a little rant on it on Sunday because it's just all the shit that he's called out people for, he's either doing or the shit people have called him out for doing, where he's like either said, I don't do that, or has excused it one way or another. Now he's done it to other people. Now all those other people, this isn't cool. Like, yeah, rewind a few months ago. Have that same opinion.
Hey, retard. You guys let him off the leash. They're all Eric Roberts in The Dark Knight now. They're all Maroney. You're like, he goes, yeah, we let him off the leash. We fucked up. I don't know what to do now. Good. Because it ain't falling on my head. Let's see. Gino not on that show. Their enemy. No, Gino and I called all this shit. All of us.
And Gino went on Chad's show yesterday.
Yeah. Chad is not a scorpion, more of a slug. He leaves behind a sticky, stinky film. You know what? Luck of the Bind is right.
Snail trail.
I mean the scorpion in the sense that he stung them. You know, the old fable.
The parable.
The parable of the frog and the scorpion. Dobel McPoyo says, I hope to God Chad is referred to as Florida Man just once. Well, here, Florida Man. How's that?
I will say this. The frog and the scorpion is my favorite level of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah, and now he's calling out Mersh. Yeah, good luck with that one.
Who's calling out Mersh?
Chad. Ah! See, this is why I don't get mad at him. Like, you'll find out. Here's the thing with Chad. There's a story arc to Chad all the time. It's fuck around, think you're winning, and find out. Like, that's the cycle. And then he picks a new guy every time. He's the guy who played Stuart, Michael McDonald in Mad TV.
Okay.
The guy who picked all the fights. Like, you looking at my woman, and then he'd end up at their feet like, oh, man, you got me. That's Chad every time. Pick your fight, think you're doing great, look like an asshole, go find somebody else. That's the whole rhythm. KF says, I can't believe the pit bull ate my baby. Basically, MLC and company. Yeah. Yeah, April and I disagree with this, and she's saying on the chat, like, I hate this stuff. I like to remind you that I will entertain anything until they personally put me through. I get that. That's why I don't do this stuff with you. I understand that. I like being right. I like calling this stuff and being right. I love it. It's fucking great.
And I was watching all this too, and I'm kind of jumping at it the same way, so I'm just glad to be here.
I like looking at these people who talk to me on the phone, who would write me messages, who would be like, yeah, this is fucked up. It's not okay. And I'm like, you want to say that publicly? Oh, no, well, it'll blow over. It's just all for radio. It's all for radio. Now, when it happens to you, if you think it's all for radio and it's all in fun, then that's okay.
Then let it blow over.
But you guys are now blocking and saying, I can't work with Chad anymore. And
canceling
I can't
him from stuff. Like,
getting rid of him off of stuff, not letting him use your producers. But come on, guys. I thought it was all for fun. That's what you told me. It's all for fun. It's all for radio. Come on, you fucking pussies. Christopher Schweiger becoming a steel toe bro. Thank you, buddy. 170 away from today. You guys wanted to use him as a whack packer. He said, I don't want to be a whack packer. And he held you over and butt fucked you now. And now you guys are going, well, why is he butt fucking me? All right, we got to get to the last little Crowder thing.
And we got to get that overtime so we can finish this shit.
Oh, don't worry. We're only 170 away.
Oh, we are, but I'm just saying, let's make sure to make it happen.
So Crowder responded to the fight, the video that came out of he and his wife fighting.
Did not look good. By the way, last night you guys were talking about, I watched it for a little bit. Yeah, it does look like he got like fucking riptid surgery.
Yeah, he got chest surgery. He made a thing where he went, he goes, oh yeah, my chest was caving in and putting pressure on my, my heart valves and shit like that. Total lie.
Yeah.
He didn't feel good about the way his chest looked. And like a girl, he had a chest enlargement surgery. As his wife called it, a completely voluntary cosmetic operation that, by the way, he missed the birth of his children for, if we're to believe her. So Crowder made a statement. Now, Crowder making a statement, it was what started this whole problem in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Crowder, there you go with your black woman co-host again.
Mm-hmm.
So Crowder, to get the heat off of the Dave Landau thing, decided that he would address his messy 2-year divorce, which is always a better thing to bring up than a guy who used to work for you thinking you're an asshole.
Oh, you know it, baby. I'm sorry.
Everybody who used to work for somebody thinks somebody's an asshole. That will blow over. This shit, now you've opened Pandora's box. So they had agreed not to talk about it publicly.
Right.
Crowder went and talked about it publicly.
Now it's wearing off on you.
So now the wife and her family said, well, we've got a bunch of video of Stephen being very verbally abusive and controlling. We're going to put that out there. So Stephen Crowder decided, well, I can go one of two ways here. All's fair in love and war. And, she got her punch in. I got mine. Oh, well, that's how she goes. Or he could go, oh, you want to go to war, bitch? Let's fucking go to war. And he could totally go insane. I'm going to play for you guys, uninterrupted, this 1 minute response from Crowder. You tell me which path he's decided to go down.
I commented on my ongoing divorce on Tuesday, requesting privacy in the best interest of the family, but also by court order agreed upon by all parties. Look, broken marriages are ugly, and in them people do ugly things. Myself, of course included, I would never claim otherwise. However, due to recent misleadingly edited leaks to the tabloid press without context and not subject to consequences of the court, well, if not privacy, the next best option is truth. So today, I have filed a motion to officially unseal all files as they relate to the matter of legal record. Finances, relevant medical records, including mental health history or evaluations, depositions, and any motions or sanctions from the courts of Texas. I will not be leaking private marital information to the press, but if the privacy agreements are not respected by all parties, I will address all that is a matter of irrefutable legal record in full context next week.
So he's deciding to go with the fight like hell angle.
Does he forget the part where you started this?
That is my favorite part of that video where he goes, and if the privacy agreement will not be respected, it's like, motherfucker, you broke the privacy agreement.
It was you're like I threw the first punch. How dare this motherfucker defend himself? And if they want a battle, I'll give them a battle. Like, no, they didn't want a battle. You came in and punched them in the face.
You came in because your ex-employee was shitting on you, and you had the great idea of, I know, I'll shit on my ex-wife. And now you brought that smoke down on yourself. And then she responded, and now you're saying, I can't believe she wouldn't respect my privacy. But that kind of jives with what we saw in the video. He's the victim.
Yeah.
He's the victim. In all of these situations, the common denominator is Stephen Crowder, forever a victim. So I don't, Hobo Chili Recipe writes, watch it, fucking watch it. The Crowder quote. Zen Rhino says, is she still using that half-Asian lawyer, or did that guy cut him loose? Crowder hired a divorce lawyer before she filed for divorce.
Yeah, Crowder actually, I thought Crowder's the one who filed for divorce, too.
No, Crowder kind of lied to his audience or misled his audience.
Oh, wow.
When he said she filed for divorce. She filed for divorce after he wasn't there for the birth of her kids, or their kids, bought his own home,
cut her out of the finances, and hired a divorce attorney. Only after all of that did she file for divorce. That's called reading the room.
Yeah. So as far as Crowder goes, so now apparently this week, he says he's going to set the whole thing straight. He's got a motion filed to release all these records, which he's assuming that when he files this motion, it's just going to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And that, the court's going to say, oh, yeah, sure, mental health records, all of that shit. Yeah, sure, go ahead and talk about it. He's filing the motion with the stated goal of talking about it in public to millions of people.
Yeah. You're taking a private citizen and you pretty much want to flame them publicly, and you're asking for the court to give you permission to talk about their personal life.
We're talking about mental health records, which I don't know if you can just throw people's mental health records around.
By the way, you do realize that's a double-edged sword. That means they can put out anything they want to about all of your stuff.
Yeah.
Which means we can hear about that surgery that people keep saying was entirely elective that you say was necessary.
Yeah, William Ramsey says he can't release his wife's medical records. That's what kind of got me in that statement where he's like,
HIPAA is a thing.
All relevant medical and mental health records will be released. It's like, fuckface, no, they're not. Not unless she agrees to it. And not only that, this is clearly a man spiraling. This is a man clearly grasping at straws to try and get back control of the messaging here. And it's because he opened his big, fat fucking mouth in the first place.
This is a dude who stepped on shit and he keeps wiping his shoe off on his carpet. He's like, why does my living room smell like shit?
the fact that he is now going, I'm going to release her medical records and I'm going to release her mental health records, also he can get the stink of that video off of him. That he's like, I'm going to try and dig into her most personal private records and release those just so I can show them publicly with the stated goal of releasing them on his show so that he doesn't look as shitty
as he does right now.
So basically, you're going to take the ugliest parts of divorce and you're going to play it out publicly for millions of people. Why? Because Dave Landau said you were a shitty boss. Wow. Trust this guy's judgment.
Oh, and by the way, it doesn't look weird at all that the video you released a couple weeks ago, you're like, by the way, last 2 years, been going through a really rough divorce. Not for any abuse or infidelity on either side. And then we see that video, and I'm like, and I'm going to pull out all the medical records. Yeah, that doesn't sound like abuse at all, homie.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.